Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where we were just waiting for some money to come in to finish up this highway project, and so I decided to put a cut in there. But we now have the money to do that. And that's perfect. So, this interchange is currently a little pointless compared to, say, this one, or even this one. Like, we have a lot of work to do, for sure. Let's go ahead and bring this on over here, and we're going to just spend all of the money that we accumulated. I kind of didn't wait between episodes, which was maybe a slight mistake, but I could go up to a higher speed, I suppose. Sure. We'll go up to speed 3 for right now. And we'll bring this on over, connect that in. Fantastic. Okay, so I feel like at this point this is still not going to be very useful, even if we do put in the on-off ramps here, which we are absolutely going to do. But I just want to run this all the way through this block as well. So I think that's going to be probably the best bet. So I'm going to do this until we run out of money, which we already are. There we go. Just bring this right to here. Excellent. Then we're going to do that number. Make sure that there's a turnaround there. That's, of course, a temporary thing. And then we're going to do this. Oh, did I just connect that in? I did. I did not mean to do that. I'm just running it straight in like that. Okay. There we go. That seems to work quite well. And now we can just do some on-off ramps. So let's go ahead and put up an on-off ramp over here. I'm going to actually take it down to speed 1 again, because the game does tend to get a little bit laggy on speed 3. Slope too steep, but it can go there, which is fine, I guess. And we're skipping this one and doing on-ramp and off-ramp. Right there, I'll be fine. Excellent. Now for over here. Is this too steep? Actually, that works. I'm shocked that it let me do that. But whatever. Okay, there we go. That is a good first step. This interchange is now actually useful. We'll do the same thing over here, and of course, we're going to need to push it this way as well a ways. So first things first, let's get these on-off ramps going. On and off. Excellent. And now for this side. On and off. Really, I have to go here? That's a little unfortunate, but whatever. I guess it'll work. On and off. Fantastic. Okay, so this highway is now semi-operational, anyway. And that's excellent. People can get places pretty quickly now. What was that tweet about? Oh, they're just happy. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so what is the actual plan here? Well, we're going to be removing this highway, and we're going to be rerouting it up this way and connecting it here, and then extending this out here, and then probably putting it over this little lagoon, and then connecting it up over here. That's still going to be a temporary solution, but it's going to be a slightly more permanent temporary solution, I guess. Okay, let's check in on our garbage issue. We're doing okay. We're still working on catching up on our garbage processing, which I think is a big part of the reason why this is happening, because our landfill is currently emptying. It's at 55%. We should maybe consider getting another incineration plant. I mean, it's maybe just a temporary thing. We're going to need it eventually, though, anyway, right? So let's go ahead and pay this loan, take a new one. And that gives us enough money soon to buy an incineration plant. We're also going to need to extend this over this way. We're going to need to build... Oh, the elementary school is on fire. I mean, it should already be being taken care of. Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Gotta watch those... Oh, it's because there's a forest fire up here. Okay. Well, our fire helicopters are working on it. I mean, that's the reason why we built a fire helicopter depot, as well as these lookout stations, these fire watch towers. So the helicopters are on the job. And yes, I'm aware that I can expand the city limits. We kind of don't need to right now. That's not strictly speaking necessary. We almost have enough for that incineration plant, and in fact we do. There we go. We'll probably have to relocate that after we deal with this highway situation, but that's not a big deal. Basically everything I do in this game is on a temporary basis. I'm realizing that. Anyway, we're definitely going to need to connect this up at some point. But I think first things first, we need to extend the highway this direction. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll bring you to here. This is going to make some people a little upset, and they're going to move out, but that's what happens when you eminent domain their homes, I suppose. For a highway that goes nowhere. It'll go somewhere eventually, guys. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And we're going to be able to zone additional residential over here, theoretically. Which reminds me, we didn't actually zone this commercial. We may as well. There we go. That should be fine. We don't have a zone for this down here, and it's kind of a pollution zone, so I don't know what we ultimately want that to end up being. But it'll ultimately end up being a thing. I don't know what thing yet, but a thing. It will just take this on over this way. Like so. That was a slight pillar issue, actually. Let's refund that.
Trust us with your money, because it's with your money that we can make you more money. How? It's not funny business, it's money business.
There we go.
You give your money to us, and it will grow with interest. That's the plan, at least. Maybe that's too complicated for you. Imagine planting a money tree in the ground and watering it. Hold on. Imagine if you had a money pet, and you fed it more money, and after digesting, it would... Okay. You want to go money fishing, so you use a little money to catch a big money. You know, just come in and talk to us. We have even more metaphors that allow us to avoid saying what we really do with your money. Ban, hammer, ban. Feed the money monster.
They pretty much nailed that one.
I have a question for you guys.
I was listening to the ad again.
Mail to the whole city every day? And what about when the mail comes from another
Feed the
city?
money
You
monster,
guys don't get
indeed.
it before bringing it
So that's
here.
going to cost in total about 6,000 to connect this up. That's not going to be too bad. We don't actually want to do it that way, though, because we want to make sure that we have the pillars in approximately reasonable locations. So we'll place it there, and then to here, and we'll connect it up as soon as we can. And yes, we are currently eminent domaining people's houses. They'll be fine.
Together, we can reunite minerals with the people.
I'm sure they'll be fine. There will never be a problem. But this is going reasonably well so far. We're going to also be able to put in a highway up this way eventually, most likely. We may have to terraform this area over here a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. There we go. Got that highway in there. They're a little upset that we're, you know, taking their homes for a highway to nowhere, but like I said, I'm sure it'll be fine. So realistically, we want to take a look at this, right? This is basically the center point, I think. And I want to put down a road that marks the exact center point. So is this the center point right here? Yeah, that's the center point. So we'll put that just on the ground, kind of like that. Now that doesn't actually connect to anything, I realize that. And it's this half that's the center point, not this half. But that's just for my own purposes. We'll get rid of that in a moment. So we want to run this guy right here, and then this one right here. We definitely want to get down to the bottom position here. And I think this is pretty much where we want to do it, but we've got slope too steep there. And actually, we need to get rid of this. That's a little bit unfortunate. We're going to want to build this interchange, probably, just so that we can actually properly do this without having to rebuild it all the time. So, realistically, this is the center point, right? So we want to have this going towards us, like this, and this going away. And yeah, that's the center point. Perfect. Okay, and then we want to run that to there, and that to there. Now that's highway going nowhere, and it's going to remain going nowhere for a little bit. We want to take this down to ground level and go underneath this particular highway. But that's giving us slope too steep. And that's because I think the terrain slopes downward here. So we maybe want to knock this back. Yeah, that's fine. Ferry piers are okay, but I'm not working on that right now. That goes to ground level there. That space already occupied. So we have to be here. But we need this to then drop down pretty substantially. And quite quickly. Unless we raise this up. And maybe we should do that. So like, for example, if we were to build this going this way, from here, actually from here, up to, oh, the space already occupied. There we go. From here to, say, here. So we would want to get rid of this guy. Bring that down one step so that it's the same as this. Bring it to right here. Up one step. And then down one step. Kind of like that. Does that work? That works. Now that'll give us a space already occupied for this one, but that's okay. We can get rid of this. So we want to run this from right here to right here, up one step, down one step. There we go. It's a little wacky looking, but it'll do the trick. Then we want to run this to here, up two steps, about like that. And then the same thing right here, down to ground level by there, and then back up two steps by there. Now we're going to have a small pillar issue here. So let's just go ahead and run this over here. No, don't build right where I'm building highways. Jerk. Why would you do this? This is a terrible idea. And then this is a slight pillar issue here. Well, actually, we're dropping pillars there. I don't know. We'll probably reassess that. Actually, that redid the pillar, and it looks good now. I think that's okay. Fantastic. Now, I don't think for right now we're going to do the connectors here because this is not going to be going anywhere just yet. I'm interested to know, though, how much is this going to cost to run across to here? The answer? Quite a lot. I expected it to be pretty expensive. We can certainly run it to here. And then we can run this one to here as soon as we've got the money. Okay. And we could theoretically just connect it like this. That's a possibility, I suppose. Now, we haven't done the exits here, and maybe we should, so that this is actually, you know, quasi-useful for people. We took their homes, maybe we should make it actually useful for them. This pillar is awful. We're going to need to redo those pillars. Okay, something along the lines of this. We're going to need to flip this one around. And then we're going to need to run... that's going to be causing issues. Did that pillar become awful? It did again. Okay. So in that case, we're going to need to remove this pillar. That's a little frustrating. But we'll do something along the lines of that. It just re-put the pillar right there. That is really rather annoying. Okay. Gonna have to rethink this a bit. We want pillar here, right? So we would need to build this essentially like this. And then hook this up to right here, like that. And then hook up this highway, but that slope too steep now. Can we hook this up? We can. Did that put the pillar in the wrong place? It didn't. Okay. And that slope too steep. Can we go from here? We can go from there. What about here? Slope too steep. So we gotta go from there. We're gonna have this, and I don't like that, but that's just the way the terrain worked out. Slope too steep there as well. But that's okay. Okay. Got that under control, kind of. Now the pillars seem okay for this. That's great. Pillar seems fine there. And there. It's not fine there. That's kind of to be expected. This is where we had the issues before. So we'll just run that back. Put that like this. It's going to need to go the other direction, so we'll flip that. And then we're going to need to run an on-ramp. Like that. Connect that up. That's giving space already occupied. That's fine, though. Okay, that'll do. Excellent. So this highway is now quasi-useful. We've not completed this interchange yet, and we're not going to be able to get this highway quite removed, but I do need to put a cut in here. So you can go ahead and leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and next episode, we're going to be finishing this interchange, removing this highway, removing these bits, and integrating this highway properly into our city. See you all then.